Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Andy. This came up on the podcast. You've never seen this?
I've never seen it. This is a very rare window where, I mean, I was dev side, so I mean, we had a Switch.
Yeah.
So watching this, we had a dev kit. So,
that's a point. I'm forgetting you.
Like 3 a.m. UK time.
Yeah, I'm forgetting you weren't press. Yeah,
it was that day. So I'm not getting up at 3 a.m. and watching this and then
something you already knew. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know what they were doing, but we had a Switch and working a game.
Yeah, you knew that.
You just find like, I mean, I don't know what it was like for you, Chris, but your relationship with like with games changes when it's not a job, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And also when it is, like, I enjoyed some games more when I wasn't in the media, but some games less, because obviously you're working on games, so it just depress you if other people have made games like that were like just way better and stuff like that. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, at this point in time, it just reminds me that we were just trying to get Yooka-Laylee to bloody run on the Switch. Because we announced it on Wii U. And we came in right late in the States. So we did the Kickstarter in 2015. So this was 2016. This is the following year. So by this point, Unity, the engine we're using, they're just not supporting Wii U anymore.
Yeah.
And we can't throw them under the bus. You know, you can't go, look, lads, we're moving it in because our engine's not supporting it. So you have to put out a very carefully worded statement, blah, blah, and everyone slaughters you.
Yeah.
But you can't criticize your kind of engine partner.
Yeah.
So we were trying to get onto Switch, and it took, I think we launched, Switch came out like the same month we came out as well. So we came out on PS4, Xbox, PC, and it took us till that Christmas to get it on Switch. And we literally had NCL, Nintendo Japan, having meetings with Unity Japan like every week, trying to get them to get Yooka-Laylee running on Switch, because obviously it's quite a complex game for it at the time, like a proper 3D big platformer. Stuff that was on Unity, especially on Switch at the time, was like Bomberman. Remember the Bomberman launch?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. And it was so annoying, like looking at, I mean, I was at GDC when it came out, and like Snake Pass ran on, that was a launch game, and it ran on Unreal Engine, and it was like launch game, and it ran fine, it looked great.
Good game.
And it was like so frustrating that we couldn't get it on Switch at launch.
Isn't this interesting that they're showing the grey version? In my mind, this is auto-corrected to always be in the red and blue version that they showed.
This is the thing, I had the grey version.
Also the fact they start with a release date.
Yeah.
They don't piss about, they're just like, here's when it's coming out.
Major European countries, Hong Kong.
I was sitting on my couch on the 2nd of March, and I looked on Amazon, and the red and blue ones were there, and it had get delivery by 1 p.m. tomorrow, and I thought, fine, and just ordered it.
I was at GDC when it came out, showing Yooka-Laylee. And I remember asking people, like, is there anywhere I can get a Switch here? And it was like, no.
I need to remember my dates. I'm sure this was the day before that London.
Yeah, it was.
Because I was watching this.
The same day. It's like 3 in the morning.
I was watching this at like Arsenal o'clock, just before jumping out to get the train down to London.
Yeah, I said that's why I didn't watch it.
Yeah, there's no point.
Right, everyone, focus up online service.
Oh, yeah, I've not seen this at all.
To enjoy online multiplayer gaming.
Of course.
And when you use a smart device
that wasn't a given.
Weird. It's so weird. Like, I mean, keep in mind, I've not seen this. Like an actual live stage thing.
Yeah.
The last one they did.
Nintendo Direct. They started that about 4 or 5 years before this, right? They don't do this. This is such an anomaly.
I wish they would. Instead of the Direct, I want this. But this must be the last live thing they ever did,
beginning in the fall of 2017.
as far as I can think.
We will provide additional details on this paid service and its features on our homepage at a later
I forgot that. Do you remember that Switch Online was free at first?
Yeah.
And then they added the paid one later.
I think they might do something like this again.
I hope so.
For Switch 2.
I hope they do this exact same
There's
presentation.
the Direct, but I did hear talk of something like this.
Some chatty.
So especially if it comes out like May, June time.
We have revised our
I don't know, it's in April, isn't it, Direct? So
we will not apply region locking to Nintendo Switch software.
Imagine they brought region locking back.
We won't apply region locking. Way! We're all on the pitch.
It's the man responsible for all software development for Nintendo.
They've retrospectively put put region locking in it.
It's also just, it's such a weird present. Oh, he's hitting it with a switch. He switched
all
to
do
another
that
man.
every 2 seconds. Yeah.
Everyone. I am
Big
Shinya
shin.
Takahashi, and I lead all Nintendo software development.
Alright,
Oh,
Billy
Nintendo.
McDoss.
Nintendo Switch has
I direct every
DNA
game.
from each of the
No, you
many
don't,
hardware
mate.
systems Nintendo has released today.
Miyamoto's sitting like cutting a
The
switch.
Nintendo Entertainment System included 2 controllers in the base system. Game Boy
I remember
made it
this.
possible to bring video
This
games
is
out of
weird
the home.
logic at the end.
There's an amazing
Super
bit coming up. I
NES
think we're talking about the same
added
thing.
The X and Y buttons and the L and R buttons to enhance the fun.
Imagine they do this for Switch 2. And Switch 2 has added
Nintendo 64 offered the world's first
magnet.
analog control stick.
I'm sure they do that and stuff, but one of these is like a really shit
Introduced a
example.
rumbling controller with the development of the Rumble Pack. We put a handle on Nintendo GameCube so kids can carry it around.
Brilliant. That's the GameCube's innovation. We put a handle on it.
With you,
Also, you could take
put a
the
dock
little
on it.
discs on the top of it off and put other ones in.
Nintendo DS added a touchscreen.
That's not the original DS. The original DS was a
That's a DS.
monster of a
Remote
thing.
control became possible. And the Wii U
God rest it.
gamepad enabled you to play games off the TV.
Nobody wanted the white one though, because the black one actually had storage in it.
Yeah, I was just thinking the exact same
Nintendo
thing. The white,
Switch
I
has
autocorrect
inherited
the Wii U
all
to
of
being the black
Nintendo's
one.
entertainment
Yeah, the
gear.
white
I
one
haven't
had-
turned my
And we
Wii U
have
on
packed
for
each and
probably
every
best
one of
part of
these
10 years,
features
and
into
I'm
the system.
concerned.
Nintendo
I
is
was reading
constantly
that they
pursuing new
they
forms
a
of
lot of them
entertainment
die,
to
right?
bring more
They're
fun
already dead.
and more smiles to the world.
The white one had about
And the new
3 kilobytes of memory in it.
entertainment in 2017.
Even the black one only had like 8 or 16, didn't it? Or
Yeah.
32 maybe, 32 gigs, which is laughable. Here we go.
Size
dock
of that
is
fucking
so,
bezel,
just
man.
think like the Switch just feels so cheap. I mean, I know I was saying it on the last pod. Like they had to bash it out mid-gen,
Nintendo
basically,
Switch
right?
is a video
But
game
if
system
you threw that
for
dock
the
at the
home.
wall, it's smashing to bits, isn't it?
I
Right,
can't
like-
open it to put
To the
something in the
TV,
US
play
in the
games.
HDMI in the back without the back panel snapping off
When you
Yeah.
want to
every
play
single
away
time.
from the TV, you just remove Nintendo Switch from the dock.
I mean, that looks like they got it off of AliExpress. That original Switch. It does, doesn't it? Look, it's just like, oh, you got any tabs, mate? Tab tablets. Yeah,
Joy-Con
tar.
controllers,
Nintendo
Right,
shit.
Switch on the back.
continue playing anywhere.
That's a
Just
bezel
look at
for
the
you.
bezel.
Nintendo Switch has been designed to be a home console game.
I hope they show that when you put the Switch into the dock, your telly freaks out and doesn't know how to switch it to the correct HDMI, and you have to turn it on and off.
Turns on a PS5.
Music's properly freaking it.
Next, allow me to introduce the playstyles Nintendo
Did you see
Switch
that game, Breath of the Wild? I directed it.
As well as everything else.
Oh, Nintendo software. Here's another one of mine.
Oh, this is Mario Kart 9.
games on the TV in typical video game style. Tabletop mode.
Table Modo.
Why is playing
Stand
games on a
Nintendo
TV
Switch
typical
console
video
up with
game
its
style?
kickstand.
I know. All the
I'd
handheld
I'd
guys
actually
going.
argue that all of the evidence suggests that
You
it's
can
the
now play
opposite
video
of
games
typical
in front
video
of a
game
screen
style.
with other
Yeah.
Like, look, you're playing it on your Android
Even
device
away from the
in
TV.
typical video game style.
You're
Handheld mode.
choosing the emulator and the ROM in typical video
Attach
game
the
style.
left and right Joy-Con to the system. You can take it with you and play indoors, outdoors, or anywhere you like.
What a game though.
And
That's
what
a
do you
good game.
think of handing a
Can't deny
Joy-Con
it.
to a friend or family member?
They gave us the.
Sharing
Do you remember
the
like
joy
Wii U days?
right
They used to give us
then
the
and there.
review code so early.
Mm.
I remember we had this like something like a good 2
Battery
months
life will
before
vary
it
by
Yeah,
game,
'cause I've-
came out Mario
but it
Kart 8, and
ranges
it's just
from 2.5
unreal game.
hours to
Yeah,
6.5
they were
hours.
doing like putting all the maps together and everything for it for the
that
magazine
was
because
10
we had it
years
for so
ago.
long. Yeah,
You will be able to